Hi there, and thank you for taking time to watch this quick overview of GiftWorks. GiftWorks is fundraising software that helps nonprofit organizations everywhere manage their donors, donations, communication, reporting, and more. GiftWorks contains many features, and in this video, I will quickly review some of what GiftWorks can do. If you want to find out more about what GiftWorks can do, there are other more extensive videos that you can watch, or you can even join us for a live tour. You can check out our website at www.giftworksconnect.com for more information. Well, let's get started looking at GiftWorks. Well, if you haven't done so yet, you can download a free 30-day trial of GiftWorks from our website at www.giftworksconnect.com. Once you download it and install it on your computer, you can then go ahead and sign into GiftWorks like I'm doing here. I'm going to sign in, and the first place that I'm going to come to is what we call our home page. Before I talk about our home page, I want to talk a little bit about just how GiftWorks is put together. Across the top, you'll notice a series of buttons, and these buttons will get you into the major functional areas of GiftWorks. So for instance, if I click on the Donors button at the top, I'm going to get to the area in GiftWorks where I can view and manage my donor information, and the same for donations and so on. So you'll notice these buttons across the top, and you'll notice this one to the far right, the Help button. If I click on the Help button, it's going to show me help that's relevant to where I'm at right now. So for instance, I'm in the Donations area of GiftWorks, and I'm going to see information about my donation dashboard. If I click on Donors, you'll notice that the Help updates to kind of stay with me wherever I'm at within GiftWorks. So it's help that follows you where you go. Along the left-hand side, I'm also going to see a series of menu options that are relevant to what I'm doing right now. So in this case, I'm at the Donors area. I can add a donor, find a donor, add tasks and notes for donors, and so on. Down at the bottom, you'll notice that I have this Find Donor box. So at any point, I can just come down here and type in a donor's name and search for them within GiftWorks. A couple other things within GiftWorks. In the far upper right corner, you'll see this Contact Us link. This Contact Us link is for any time you need assistance, whether you want to see other helpful videos, whether you need help installing or using GiftWorks, or whether you want to submit a suggestion to tell us how GiftWorks might be able to be a little bit better for you. So across the top, we have buttons, the Help, the Contact Us in the upper right, the menu along the left, and then the Find Donor section in the lower left-hand corner. And then in the central area, the center area of GiftWorks, is where you'll do most of your work within GiftWorks. Let's go back to the home page. On the home page, this is a fully customizable page that allows you to see different areas of GiftWorks or information within GiftWorks, kind of in an easy-to-use sort of portal sort of page. You'll notice that I have different, we call them widgets. So in this case, I have a donations widget, which is showing me, in this case, a pie chart of donations by fund. Every widget, you'll notice this little gray triangle over to the right will give you options that pertain to this widget or this section of information. So instead of, if I don't want to see donations by fund, if I want to see them by campaign, I can change it to donations by campaign. I can also make the pie chart a little bit bigger. I could change the date range that's used to drive this chart. Down here, I see a list of tasks that are within GiftWorks. I can view active tasks, past due tasks, and so on. If I want to customize some of the layout, I have the center area right here, and then I have this smaller area to the right. Well, I can click on the Customize link on the left-hand side, and I can see that I can rearrange both the main column and the side column. So within here, I want to bring tasks to the top, and I also want to add, let's say, a donation history, or perhaps a pledge expected payments widget, which kind of helps me manage some of my pledge information. On the side column, I'm going to move to the top my recent donors, and I'm going to get rid of my smart entry pages. Click OK, and you notice how GiftWorks rearranges this home page. So this home page is a fully customizable page that allows you to kind of plan your work or provide you a launch pad for some of the work that you may need to do or may need to understand about the information that you have within GiftWorks. Well, I'm going to head over to the Donors section of GiftWorks, and I'm going to get started by adding some donors. I'm going to first click on Add a Donor, the link on the left-hand menu, and I'm going to choose what kind of donor, whether I want to add a donor that is an individual, a donor with a household profile, or a donor with an organization profile. I'm going to just go ahead and add a donor. In this case, I'll add Steve Faithful. I'm just going to put in the information I have. You notice I just have his name. I'm not putting in the individual pieces of the name, meaning first name, middle name, last name, only because GiftWorks will handle that. So if I put in Steve C. Faithful, click on Next, GiftWorks will handle breaking it apart into the individual pieces, trying to save me time and help speed up my data entry of information into GiftWorks. Now we're adding a donor, and I'm just going to add some of the basic information for my donor. So I've chosen the name information. The display name is just how the name will appear within GiftWorks and reports and lists. I'm going to click on Next. GiftWorks will help me guess at a good salutation and addressee. And if you're sending out communication, you'll want to make sure you have this information correctly defined for your donors. I can choose, if I don't like the salutation or addressee that GiftWorks picked, I can go ahead and pick another one from the list. Or if I just want, I can go ahead and type in what I want to see there. Click on Next. GiftWorks is asking me for my address information. I'm going to go ahead and put in some information. If I didn't have, let's say, a city and state, I could just go ahead and put a zip code in. GiftWorks does have built-in lookup for city and state. So if I want to just put in, I'll put in 17603. And I'm going to hit the Insert button on my keyboard. And GiftWorks, as long as you're connected to the internet, GiftWorks will go out and look for the appropriate city and state or province for the zip or postal code that you're putting in. In this case, it found Lancaster, PA, and I'm going to hit the Insert button on my keyboard, and it'll insert that information into GiftWorks. And so it can save me time and speed up my data entry and improve my accuracy as well. Click on Next. GiftWorks asks me for phone and emails. 1212. I'll just put in some basic phone and email address information. GiftWorks can support as many email addresses and phones and email addresses as you'd like, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Click on Next. GiftWorks is asking me what groups I want this donor to be a part of. So I'm going to say I just want this person to be a member. Click on Next. I want them to make sure they get the welcome letter and that I'm going to put them on our newsletter mailing as well. Now, this list of groups and this list of mailing lists is fully customizable. Many things in GiftWorks are fully customizable, which I'll show you a little bit near the end of this video. Click on Next. GiftWorks asking me for some more information like status, source, donor category, birthday. This is a customizable page where you can add your own fields to determine what's best for your entering your donors. Click on Next, and I'll have the opportunity to verify all the information I just selected. I have some quick links here, which I could just go and add another donor very quickly, or add more details for this donor, or add a donation for this donor. But I'm just going to click the Finish button, and on my donor dashboard here, I'll see under Recently Added Donors, I'll see that I have Steve. I'm going to go ahead and add another donor real quick, just so you can see I can do a couple other things. I'll just say this is John and Jackie Lemon. Click on Next. You notice I'm putting a name. If I had John Smith, if I had donors with two different names as well, GiftWorks will handle that. GiftWorks is sensitive. In this case, this is a household, so someone that I'm adding to GiftWorks as a single giving unit. I can verify that. I'll look at the salutation and addressee. You'll notice that GiftWorks is sensitive to the different last names. Go ahead and I can put in home address information, phone and email again, groups, membership, newsletter, mailing lists, and so on. And I've gone ahead and now I've just added two donors very quickly. Now I did that using the Add a Donor link on the left-hand side. There are a couple other ways to get information into GiftWorks. We have something called Smart Entry Pages, which is a tool I'll show you right near the end of our video. And we also have an import tool within GiftWorks so that you can import, whether you're importing from an Excel spreadsheet or a text file or an Access database. You can get information into GiftWorks in a couple different ways. I just did it perhaps the slowest way, but also the way that many of you will add donors on an ongoing basis. When I've done doing that, I'm going to go ahead and double click on Steve right here because we're going to look at more information about this donor. I'm going to double click and I'll come to my page where I can view my donor information. You notice that I have a series of tabs across the top: summary information, contact information, other details, relationships between this donor and other donors, his donations, where they would be, notes, tasks, and files for this donor, and then a full history of what's been done to this donor and by who. When I go back, each area and each tab has different sections within it as well. So I see main contact information about, and I can click and just drag and drop these and rearrange them on the page. I can also customize this if I want to rearrange the tabs. So all these tabs that I see across the top, if I want to rearrange these, and I can even hide tabs if I don't want to be looking at them. GiftWorks does support built-in pictures, and you can change their profile once they've been created, and also print a very quick summary for this donor as well. If I want to edit information, I can click on the Edit Donor button at the bottom, and then I can go through and see all the information, much of the information I already just added in the process that we did just a few moments ago. But I also see more information, so things like a description or website, selecting a picture for this donor, and the gender and the marital status. Here is where you can add as many addresses as you want. I can go ahead and just add another address. GiftWorks does support as many addresses as you want, but GiftWorks also allows you to define up to 3 of your top addresses. So you have your primary address, second address, and third address. And you can do that for both addresses, phones, and emails. So you can have as many as you'd like, and you can designate up to your top 3 as well. Coming down to contact preferences, you can specify how the donor wishes to be contacted or doesn't want to be contacted. Employment details, development details, like perhaps a subcategorization of this donor, what their status is within your organization, who they're assigned to and where they're from. Each of these lists, keep in mind, are fully customizable so that you can set up your own list. We'll give you a set of values that come with GiftWorks whenever you create a new GiftWorks database, but you can go ahead and remove all those and set up your own that match your organization's needs. Also coming down, you can set up matching preferences, whether or not how this donor wishes to be issued receipts, their group inclusion, and then we come down to under this section down at the bottom, we see custom fields. You'll see this grant management section. This grant management section along with this custom fields, these are really all custom fields. If we don't provide a field that is needed for your organization, you can go ahead and create your own custom field. You can even categorize those custom fields. So in this case, I've put together a grant management section of GiftWorks so that I can manage best some of the information I need, and I can categorize it so that it kind of it sets off from my custom field, so I can create my own categories of customized fields for GiftWorks. And that way, I can kind of set up and make sure GiftWorks matches the needs of my organization. Once I've gone through and made any changes, I can go ahead and click the Save button at the bottom, and my changes will be saved for this donor. For donors, you can add other things like relationships. I can add a relationship between this donor and other donors, and we can categorize them as regular relationships like friendships and things like that. Work relationships, so it would be colleagues and business relationships, and then family relationships, so children, spouses, and things like that. We also have notes, tasks, and file. You can have as many notes, tasks, and files as you want for your donors. For files, actually, there is a limitation depending on the version of GiftWorks you're using. There may be a limitation, but for notes and tasks, you can have as many notes and tasks as you'd like. So if I want to just add a note for this donor, and I can just say it was a home visit, I can just say we talked and put a date for that note. Great. And if I want to add a task, which is almost a time-oriented note, I want to say, okay, I want to give a follow-up call about the giving, and I can put a date on there. GiftWorks does have built-in task calendaring and kind of due date reporting, so that you can understand what tasks you need to be working on and when. You can also add files for your donors. So if you want to attach an Excel file, you want to attach another picture, a PDF document, a Word document, you can go ahead and do that. You can also see the history of this donor. So if I want to see all the history that's been done, I can see that it's been added, I can see it's been edited, when it was done, by who or whom, and so on and so forth. So with my donors, once I've added my donors, I'm ready to get started adding some donations. And I could click on the Add a Donation link on the left-hand side to get started adding one for Steve. But I'm going to click on the Donations button, and it'll take me to the Donations section of GiftWorks. I'll see my donation dashboard where I can see my latest donations. I could also see other views of my donations as well. I'm going to click on the Add a Donation on the left-hand side, and I'm just going to put in Steve Faithful. We'll add one for the donor we just added. I found Steve, and I'm going to add a $100 donation for Steve, and I'm going to say that he paid by cash. If I needed to support a different receipted amount, meaning perhaps portion of the donation that he gave was not tax deductible, or I should say only a portion of it was tax deductible, I could indicate that a different amount should be used for the receipt. I can click on Next. I can indicate whether or not this gift was given in honor of or in memory of someone. GiftWorks does support setting up honoraries and memorials so that you can then notify those people in reference to an update about the honorarium or memorial. You can also indicate that you want a gift to be matched. If you indicate that, you'll select a donor that's going to be matching it, and then GiftWorks will automatically create a matched pledge for that for this gift. Click on Next. GiftWorks does support has built-in acknowledgement functionality and receipting, so that process can be automated or at least can be a normal part of your donation management process. So I'm going to just indicate that I want to add this to the thank you letters mailing list, which we'll see in just a moment, and also that I want to issue a receipt for this donation. Click on Next. GiftWorks will allow me to add a little bit more information, like what campaign and appeal this donation was a result of, who was responsible for soliciting it, was it directed or restricted in some way, perhaps some notes, was it given anonymously, and then once again we have custom fields for our donations, so that in the event that you want to have values that are specific to your organization for every donation that you come in, you can set up custom fields for every donation as well. Click on Save. and I've saved this gift, you'll see I'll see this donation and all its information, and I'll see it for Steve. If I click on Steve, I'll go back to Steve's donor information, and I can click on his donations tab, and now I'll see the gift information that he's received. Now, I can also add pledges. I showed you donations, but if you have a scheduled series of donations or a pledge, I'm going to put in just 2 payments by check, indicate that he wants to give it over the next 2 months. It's going to start on 10/12. Click on Next. GiftWorks has already built the pledge schedule, so I'll see the pledge schedule right here, when I'm scheduled to receive these pledge payments. I can come down, specify much of the same information I just showed you about donations, and click on Save. Once I'm ready, I can go ahead and apply a payment. And so if I receive this $100, go ahead and very quickly receive this pledge payment. And also, if GiftWorks, if you have an underpayment or an overpayment, so if this person pays $50 instead of $100, GiftWorks will help you kind of go through and manage the different ways that you might need to reorganize this pledge to keep it up to date. So as I look through, GiftWorks will kind of help me with the different options I'll need to manage this pledge. So I'm going to go ahead now, go back to Steve. I'll see that not only has a gift, but he also has a pledge, and I can see the pledge payment information. Well, once we've added some donors, added some donations, we're ready to begin to communicate, and I'm going to go over to the mailing section of GiftWorks, because in the mailing section of GiftWorks, this is where I can either send out some of those automated mailings that I was referring to a moment ago, like donation or pledge acknowledgments or receipts, or I can just send out my regular mailings like my welcome letters or my newsletters, my information mailers, and so on. When you first start to communicate, you'll want to go into the letter library to set up all your letters, and you can either use some of the ones that we include with GiftWorks, and you can modify them to meet your organization's needs, or you can click on the Add button and go ahead and add your own letter. If you do that, I'm just going to put in a demo letter, and you can use very simple to use word processing and mail merge capability to build your letter. So I can just say hello, insert a field, we'll just call it I'll just say the first name, and you can go through and build your own letter. If you're interested in creating highly customized or highly personalized letters, I would encourage you to check out more about Smart Fields. Smart Fields allow you to build both conditional or calculated fields into your letters. So if you'd like to do those highly customized or highly personalized letters that use some historical information, like perhaps when people gave or how much they gave, and you want to be able to do calculations or conditions based on that, you can use Smart Fields. Once I'm done, I can simply save my letter, and then I can begin to use that as part of my mailings. Let me show you real quick how you can do something like, I'll just do, for instance, the donation acknowledgement process that we did a moment ago. So once that donation was added, you'll notice that once I come into here, it's processing on my donations. First of all, GiftWorks does support sending out your communication either through printed letter and envelopes or labels, or you can do it through email. Email supports both integration with Microsoft Outlook if you're using that, or you can use your own outgoing mail server, otherwise known as an SMTP server, to send your mailing as well. And you can configure your email settings to get started, and you can send them out. For this, I'm going to say I want to produce letters and labels. I'm going to go to the recipients. I'm just going to send out the one. So you remember, if we just added the $100 donation, and we received the $100 pledge payment from Steve in this case. I'll just do one of them right now. Click on Next, but you could do this for all the donations that you receive. So in a given day, you receive all your donations, you schedule them to be acknowledged in the thank you letters mailing, and then you go through this process and you just indicate which letter you want to use. Click on Next. Click on Generate Mail. It'll go through and generate that. You can preview it if you want. So in this case, Dear Mr. Faithful, thank you for your recent gift of $100, and so on and so forth. Once I'm ready, I can simply print them or save them, these letters, print them or save the labels, and then I'm going to acknowledge these donations and click on Done. Once I print them and send them out, they've been acknowledged. If I go back to Steve and we look up Steve again, I'll go to his donations, and I'm going to see under his gift of $100. If I scroll down, I'll see that at the bottom it says, under the acknowledgement section, it says acknowledged on 10/12/2011 in the donation thank you letter. So we see that it's been acknowledged. We also see a note right below that that says it's still scheduled to be receipted in the receipts receipt group. And so GiftWorks supports both a separate acknowledgement process and a receipting process separately. If your organization does both a combined receipt and acknowledgement together, that can be done as well. I'm going to go back to Steve, scroll up, click on Steve, click on the link for Steve, go back to his donations. Go back to his notes, tasks, and files. And you'll also see that GiftWorks has also done a little bit of work in terms of entering some notes. So you'll see that under his notes, GiftWorks made the note that he was sent a donation thank you letter. So GiftWorks is not only allowing you to put notes and put information, but GiftWorks is also keeping track of some of the things that have been done for this donor, and we'll keep that under the notes, tasks, and file as well. I can go back to the mailings. I just sent out a thank you letters mailing. Like I said, you could do the same for the receipts, or you can do a combined receipt and thank you letter together. And that supports, GiftWorks also does support a number of other acknowledgments and other updates in terms of mailings like honorariums, honorarium and memorial notifications, matching pledge thank yous, soft credit thank yous, and so on. GiftWorks also does have at the bottom, these are these donor mailings, things like welcome letters or information mailers or newsletters, and I can go through the same exact process. If I want to click on send mail, go through the process of indicating who should get it, select the letter that I want to use, and then go ahead and generate the mailing. I can generate this mailing very quickly, click on next. GiftWorks can record this mailing for every donor that's receiving it, and I can also, in this case, indicate that I want to remove these recipients from the welcome letters mailing list so that they don't get this mailing again. And that would be for things like a welcome letter, things that are temporary mailings that you maybe only want to send one to a donor. Well, once we've added donors, added donations, then communicated with them using mailings, then we're going to want to begin to do some reporting and some analysis of the information that we've collected into GiftWorks. So to do that, I'm going to head over to the Smart List section of GiftWorks. Let me explain what a Smart List is. A Smart List is just that. It's a smart dynamic list of information based on certain criteria that you define. One of the things that to keep in mind, Smart Lists allow you to answer the questions that you ask of your information within GiftWorks, like, show me all the donors, or who are my donors from Pennsylvania, or who are my donors from Pennsylvania that have given over $100 this year, or who are my donors that live within 50 miles of a certain zip code, or who are the donors that have given in certain ways to certain campaigns or given certain amounts within a certain period of time. GiftWorks can also answer the questions like, show me all the donations that were a result of this appeal in particular, or show me all the donations that came in from this as a result of this specific solicitor or that were assigned to this specific solicitor, and so on and so forth. Smart lists are really powerful, and I'm just going to show you a really quick example of how you can build a smart list, and this is just the tip of the iceberg with regards to what you can do with smart lists. So I'm going to click on Smart List. You notice I'm going to get started by creating a new Smart List, but I could also view my existing ones, manage some of my existing ones, or we could get started sending mail. But I'm going to click on Create a New Smart List, and I'm going to answer the basic question. I would like to know how many donors or what donors have given over $100 this year. So I'm going to click on Donors, click on Next. GiftWorks is asking me to select some criteria. Keep in mind, this is asking me for the criteria of who should be included in this Smart List. So I'm going to go under donation history. We have all these categories, and in each of these categories is a lot of different fields that you can choose from. So I'm going to look at their current year total donations, and I'm going to say total year current donations that are greater than $100, and I'm going to click on Next. So I see that I have 46 donors that have given over $100. I can click on this Customize link, and I can scroll down to include additional fields so that or additional columns to display, and I'm going to go down to the current year giving, and I'm going to show that. And now I'll see over here on the right hand side, if I scroll over a little bit, I'll see that their current year giving is over $100. So all these people, I can even sort it if I want, so I can see that all these donors have given over $100, and that's why they're included in this list. So I see current year total donations greater than $100, and I can go ahead and click on Next. Now there's a lot of other functionality that's around Smart List, but just to show you the general idea of what they can do, I'm also going to say current year givers over $100, and I can add this list to my favorite Smart List. I can actually allow other users I can share it with other users and allow other users to even modify this list if I'd like. But I'm going to click on Save List. Now keep in mind one real important thing. This is not a static list of donors. This is a dynamic list. Anytime I run this Smart List, and by doing that I simply mean I'll go to Smart List, click on View Smart Lists, I can scroll down and I can see current year givers over $100. Anytime I run this, I'll see an updated list of the donors that are included. So in this case, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to the Lemon family, the Lemon and Smith family, and I'm going to add a quick donation. And I'm going to say that they've given $200 this year. I'm adding a very quick donation. Click on Save. I'm going to go right back to my smart list, and if you remember this, under my favorite ones, I can see it as well. Current year givers over $100. That number went from 46 now to 47. That's because John Smith and Jackie Lemon are included in this list now as well. So keep in mind it's a dynamic list. Once the list is created, once you have a smart list, you can then do different things with it, like quickly export it to a Excel file or maybe send it through email to someone. You can also do what we call smart updates to it. So you can perhaps add a note for all these donors at one time, or you can do different things like add them to a specific group or a mailing list, or send them mail right away. You can run a report for them. You can also map them. If you want to map these donors on a map, you can go ahead and just begin to look at them on a map. And so you can see kind of the push pins that show you where each of the donors are, and you can see them located on a map. You can also, like I said a moment ago, send mail to these donors, print a quick set of labels for them. So if I just want to produce a very quick mailing, I can go ahead and GiftWorks will just produce this very quickly. Just going ahead and drawing out all these labels. And once it's done, and for those of you who have ever done a mail merge, let's say to Microsoft Word from an Excel file, it can be a little bit challenging. Well, GiftWorks in a couple clicks can get that set up for you. So once I have a smart list, I can do all these different things. I can do all these things with it. And that's one way to get information out of GiftWorks and doing your analysis or getting a better understanding of what's in GiftWorks. But one of the things I can also do is use reports. So I'm going to click on Reports, and I'm going to click on View. We have different categories of reports, like donor reports, donation reports, and so on. And I'm going to go under Donor Reports, and I'm just going to produce, let's say, the Donors by Category report. That just shows me how my donors are categorized, and I can see that I have this many individual households, government agencies, foundations, and so on and so forth. GiftWorks will provide you different views of your report, so you can view a pie chart, a bar chart, summary, which is like a pivot table, or just a plain old list that many of you are familiar with this sort of style report. So GiftWorks allows you to specify kind of different views of your report. You can also customize it if I wanted to include different columns in this report, perhaps group it slightly different or rearrange the columns. I could do that as well. I could export this report to, in this case, I could report this list style report to an Excel file, or if I was viewing a chart like a pie chart, I could export it as a PDF. I can even save this report design. So if I have one report that's set up exactly the way I want to see it, I could go in and I could just say, this is my special category report. And once I save it, now I can get access to this version of this report at any time. And I can simply go to Reports. Under My Favorite Reports, I'll see my special category. And we provide reports for both donor type reports, or reports that are specifically designed about donor information, and then we have ones that are about donation information. So your donation history by campaign, fund, appeal, and so on and so forth. Soft credit recognition reports, and so on. We have pledge status reports, matching gift reports, and so on. So all the different reports within GiftWorks allow you not only to see the information in different ways, but also then with each report you can apply different filters. So if I'm looking at this donation history by campaign, I can also, I'll just click OK. I'm looking at the last 12 months. You'll notice at the bottom these filters will then allow me to further define it. I'm going to go ahead and just view a bar chart. And once I do that, I can then go ahead and I can, there's different ways I can kind of view this report, but one of the things I can do is I can simply say I only want to see a certain set of campaigns. So perhaps if I'm doing a year-by-year comparison, I can do that as well. And so I'm just kind of review the history of the reports. You can do some other grouping. So instead of viewing it by months, I want to view it by years. Click OK. So there's a lot of different flexibility, not only in filtering the information, but in presenting the information as well. So I can begin to compare the different years of information that are coming through GiftWorks. So once I do all that, I've added donors, added donations, we've communicated with them using mailings, analyzed the information using smart lists and reports. And then I just want to kind of finish up by showing you a little bit of the customization capability and some of the tools that we give you with GiftWorks. So under the settings area, I can click on Customize, and I can change GiftWorks fields. And this is where I change a lot of the things that I've mentioned already. Things like statuses, my list of campaigns and appeals. If I scroll down, I can even modify things like prefixes and suffixes, and the different lists that appear within GiftWorks. I can also come and manage my custom fields for both my donors and my donations. So if you remember, under my donor custom fields, I can add as many fields as I I can add fields, and GiftWorks does have certain limitations on the number of custom fields that you can create. But what I can do is then organize them in ways that have meaning to me. So if you remember, I referred to the grant management section of my custom fields, and also just my general custom fields as well. And you can define them both for my donors and for my donations. I mentioned earlier, or referred to earlier, the default values. You can set up values for GiftWorks that automatically appear. So when you're adding donors, you can automatically set it to be certain cities or states. You can automatically have it set for certain types of phones or emails, perhaps a specific status. And this is if you want information that's defaulted whenever you're adding either donor information, or at the bottom you can specify your donation information. So this kind of helps with not only your accuracy and perhaps the speed of your data entry, but also helps enforce organizational policy. So if I want to make sure everyone gets a welcome letter, I can come into the mailing the default values and check off mailing lists, which will help you. So every donor that gets added will by default be added to the welcome letters. Now you can always, whenever a person's actually adding a new donor, they can modify this information. This just helps get them set up and kind of gives them some information to start, so they don't have to, especially if you have new employees who are going to be entering information for the first time, this can help them out. I come back. Down at the bottom, we get into managing donor groups. So if I want to set up my own list of groups that we were looking at earlier, you can do that as well. I want to show you some other tools that come with it. Under the accounting section, not only can you set up your accounts and funds within GiftWorks, but for those of you who are interested in integrating GiftWorks with an accounting package, especially QuickBooks, we do interface directly with QuickBooks, or we do give you the ability to post your transaction information to a file, so that if you're using an accounting package other than QuickBooks, you'll be able to import those files as well. Under additional settings and tools, you'll find things like where you can set up under change your organization information, you can set up your fiscal year, day and month, so that you can have your fiscal reporting correct within GiftWorks. You can also enter some information that can be used about your organization that can be used within GiftWorks as well. I mentioned earlier Smart Entry Pages. Smart Entry Pages are another way of getting information into GiftWorks. You're allowed to create Smart Entry Pages, which will create Excel-like grid, like Microsoft Excel-like grid, that you can then go ahead and add new donors or donations into GiftWorks, and you can do them in bulk. So if you want to do, if you're doing 10, 20, if you have a stack of checks you want to enter, you can go ahead and do that through Smart Entry Pages. I can also come down, I mentioned earlier the Smart Updates. Smart Updates allow you to do kind of global changes to a whole series of donors or donations at the same time. So if you're looking at adding a bunch of donors to a group at one time, or adding a note for them, or adding a task, you can do that using a Smart Update. Geocoding is the process of turning a physical address into latitude and longitude. Through a relationship that we have currently with MapQuest, we're able to deliver that functionality to you, where you can geocode your addresses so that you can, so if I want to come down here, I'm just going to choose a list. I'm going to geocode them, and GiftWorks will then go out and try to turn their physical address into a latitude and longitude, so that you can do different things within GiftWorks, like the mapping that I showed you a little bit earlier. We also have a duplicate tool and then a merge donor tool within GiftWorks as well. So there's other things that are part of GiftWorks, or that come with GiftWorks, or that can be added to GiftWorks that I haven't been able to show you in this video. A couple additional tools, or a couple additional add-ins that we have available for GiftWorks are things like volunteers, GiftWorks volunteers, or GiftWorks events. You may not, if you install GiftWorks, you probably won't see these three buttons right here unless you choose to install a trial of events, or a trial of volunteers, or trial of events, or both. In that, volunteers allows you to manage your volunteerism, your volunteers within your organization, assign them to jobs, and then track their hours of volunteering. Events allows you to create events, track those activities, create reservations, create participant lists, and then be able to track kind of the performance of your events as well. We also have a set of services that are kind of packaged together called GiftWorks Live Services. GiftWorks Live Services include things like online backup, a web collection tool, a data collection tool, and then we have an online donation service, so that if you're interested in collecting donations online, and then be able to integrate all that information into GiftWorks with a couple clicks, you can do that using our GiftWorks Live Services. And I would encourage you to check out our website for more information about those. GiftWorks is fundraising software that we believe anyone can use and that everyone can afford. And I hope in this very quick video, you've been able to see a little bit about maybe how GiftWorks can help your organization. I would encourage you, if you're interested in finding out more, you can check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GiftWorksConnect. And there's a whole series of videos there that you can find out more information, or you can look at our website. And when you're ready to buy GiftWorks, you can go to our website to get a link to our store to purchase GiftWorks, or you can contact our sales team directly here at GiftWorks. So thank you very much for taking time to watch this very quick overview of GiftWorks. We appreciate the opportunity to show it to you, and we wish you the best in your organization's mission. Thanks.